broken system, chained and tangled up in lies. Voices shouting, screaming in defeat. Politicians playing games under darkened skies. Hope lost in the dust of the street. Red and blue, colors pouring from the sky. Debates turn to anger, oh, the crowd gets loud. Punches flying in the blink of an eye. Truth buried deep beneath the shroud. Welcome to the bullpen, where we don't survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Faces on the screen, flashing perfect teeth. But behind those eyes, just rotting greed. Politicians turn to whispers beneath. They all just get what they need. Whispering conspiracies, drowning in their lies. Echoes of freedom, lost in cries. Spin the wheel of fate, let's see who rise. But this game will bleed you dry. Welcome to the bullpen, where we don't survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak don't survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive.
Welcome to the bullpen, where we've got Mad Cheesemo joining us today for his first jaunt into the bullpen.
Okay, one, no, it's not. I've been on multiple times. Two, don't treat
I
me
don't
like I'm
recall
just
you
some
being on.
guest, like I'm some dude on Twitter you've reached out to, like, hey, bro, can you join us sometime? That's not me. I'm a
Matt
part of
is
this.
Matt
I
is
don't
so
even recall
committed to the
reaching out
shows.
to you and asking you to join. You just used the link this morning, and
That's
suddenly you're
right.
here.
You gotta love Matt is so committed to the shows he's on. He'll show up to other shows after your show to keep talking about what was on your show. That's the kind of bro Matt is.
When
Along
Adam
with Rama.
when Adam brought up Die Hard yesterday on the stream, I'm like, oh, I can't do this for a third time in 24 hours.
Right.
To be fair, the Die Hard part we moved on from fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, we plowed through what, like 40 plus movies, so I think our clip was pretty good.
I think so.
We are referencing Friday Night, A Sin and Art,
Yeah,
where
which
we
you can
went through Christmas movies and gave them tier rankings.
It
I'll be
wasn't
honest.
without its controversy.
Yeah, you know what? It was super engaging for the audience, about almost as good as trivia. So that's something we might mix in, because it was good content.
Wait, we're gonna start start ranking Christmas movies every Friday.
No, just tier
that doesn't
things.
seem like it'll work.
Just rank things. I had for some reason in my head, I started thinking of like an NCAA style bracket for movies where we do like a zone each episode to get to the winner.
Oh, that's not bad.
So
That's right, Josh. I hadn't seen half of the movies, if not more.
yeah, Rama over here is Scrooge. He's like, bah humbug. I hate Christmas.
Comics wants to know what Mad's doing here. No homo.
I woke up on time.
Yeah,
He's
first time ever on a Sunday.
The United States,
on time.
The United States government has managed to give him his supply 2 times consecutively, and it's changing Mad's world.
And also Cowboys play tonight, so
I mean, it's
so
not
you're gonna
like
stay up all day.
No, I'm gonna take a nap.
No, he's waking. He's waking up. He woke up early now, so that he could sleep to be refreshed for the Cowboys game to watch them
True.
lose and not get a top 10 pick.
Oh,
It's like the worst
It seems
scenario
likely.
to be a losing team and still not get a top 10 pick is a bad place to be.
the offseason. We'll talk about it next year.
Jerry's still your GM. He went all in last offseason and it worked out super awesome.
He's just waiting to get a Manning.
Yep. Speaking of all in, I'm super happy that Hegseth is still crushing it and looking like he's floating his way to confirmation.
Yeah, at this point, it looks like Hegseth is likely going to be confirmed.
Because after we
They're
shot
trying to go
down
after
our
Tulsi
own,
now.
I was
So
going to say, after we shot down our own F-18
Yeah.
yesterday, I'm pretty sure we need a big change at the Secretary of Defense level. Because guess what? No
I
one in the
missed that.
Navy,
What happened?
a missile destroyer shot down one of our own F-18s in, I think it was the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, somewhere over
Yeah,
there.
somewhere around there. Yeah, it
And
was an accident.
it was an accident, but they're
You
supposed to be
hope?
like there's supposed to be like 27 different Slenders in the chat. He can hopefully confirm like how many different systems there are to avoid that ever happening. And
Right?
so somebody needed to do a lot of things wrong for that to actually get launched and then bring down the F-18.
I immediately thought about during World War II, Roosevelt. I think it may have been right before Roosevelt was traveling over to Europe, right? But they didn't want to fly, so they have all these carriers and stuff. And one of the captains on one of those ships was like, "I really want to impress these guys. Let's do a drill, right, for a torpedo." Well, they accidentally launched a real torpedo, right, directly towards the boat with the president of the United States of America, not Roosevelt. Sorry, World War II.
FDR was the president during World War
Yep,
II,
so I'm
replaced
right,
by
yep.
Truman. I mean,
That's right. It could have been
Truman didn't have to go anywhere by the time.
Then it was Roosevelt. Yeah, and it almost killed the president. And they were like, "What happened?" "Oh, we don't know." They got shamed. That boat was cursed.
Yeah,
The whole
so
boat.
what's going to be hilarious is when they try to make the pilots of the F-18 pay for it, because they're like, "Did you hit the
Pull the
button
Halon
to?
system.
Did you make sure that you launched the chaff to take for the missile to not hit you? What's wrong with you?"
Pilot's like, I wasn't expecting our own people to be shooting me.
Who's
Yeah.
the fat electrician?
It's a really funny YouTube channel. Slender showed me it. It's a former military guy just going over military stuff in it. You'd like it, Al, actually. I think a lot.
Mm.
So, but it's just a good. If you wanted the like summation of the Biden administration's Department of Defense right on the way out, it's the fact that we shot our own plane down. Right.
Right
Thank
at the
God
end of it.
thank God our pilots ejected safely and
Mhm.
are fine. And God help us, because the Biden DOD is probably going to try to make it the pilot's fault that a freaking missile destroyer locked on and fired on them using missiles that are probably designed to be able, we're supposed to have the biggest, best missiles, right? So of course ours are able to get past all the the
Okay.
deterrents.
All right. In the battleship's defense, the pilots didn't see flash.
Yeah, the electronic friend or foe system either was being bypassed or turned on. I don't know. I can't wait for the report on what happened here to find out that the butch lesbian missile destroyer commander in charge at that phase, probably like the New Zealand one who crashed.
That's where I was going to go. The New Zealand chick.
Well, it's one thing when we lose a battleship because it was caught on fire when it's just at port. Here in America, it's another thing to shoot down one of your own planes when you're actively involved in combat missions.
I mean, it is pretty interesting that this came on the heels of all the people getting super in love with Mr. Luigi over there. So the idea of some low level, probably communist influenced guy in this Navy or person, could be it, them, they, whatever, hitting the button to launch a missile at F-18.
Take that, Tricare. Was Tricare in the F-16?
Well, it's evolved beyond Tricare. It's about the system. It's not just
Oh, really?
it's not just health insurance anymore. There was a CEO that got stabbed at a meeting, and everyone as a copycat, and it wasn't a health insurance thing. It was just institutional, systematic oppression and shit. It's the stuff they're
Boy.
going to use for the next at least 4 years.
At least.
Yep. I mean, it's the Occupy Wall Street. It's all the system's fault,
Oh
and they're
boy.
because we don't want to point out who in the system is actually the problem. It's these other
Oh crap! We turned off friendly fire.
Yeah, the Navy has turned into hell divers.
Yeah, totally relate.
Mad, by the way, king of friendly fire.
How dare you? That's not me. You guys
That
assign
was
when
Slender.
anything ever
Slender
goes
was the
wrong in a game.
flamethrower, but Mad was the one who was constantly like, "Oh no, how'd that grenade
Oh wait,
blow
yeah,
you
that
up?"
was me. Yeah.
Several times.
But there are times where you guys will assign guilt to me when it's not. I'm not even the war.
I called in that airstrike. You guys better run. Why'd you tell us after?
It already happened.
Hey, how do I make it so the airstrike doesn't hit you? Just asking for future reference.
Want to explain to the chat how not to blow up your
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
Coach, it's not friendly fire. You idiots just keep walking in front of my bullets.
True.
That's pretty much how the conversation goes when he does it.
No. Chad. Chad is the one that strafes back and forth. Even though
so I look for 20 years before playing with you guys. All I ever did was multiplayer competitive, like Battlefield or COD. And you know that the entire gaming concept of those things is constant movement, strafing. It took me. I can't unlearn those things instantly. It took a little while, and especially third person. It throws me off. All you guys who like third person views. Oof.
it's the superior.
All
view.
you guys, I'm pretty sure it's just Mad.
But
You
yeah, 'cause
started
I'm
digging it
superior.
Just in
on something.
zombies.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's the
well-
only thing we play on COD. So
We don't kill each other there.
Yeah, luckily that doesn't have front. See, that's why it's not. It was never an issue because COD never had friendly fire. So I didn't have like when you work to the rules of the game. Battlefield didn't have friendly fire either. You just work to what you're playing.
I downloaded that Delta Force since it's free.
Is that the one the Army made? Do you remember?
No.
Do you remember in the 2000s when the Army made that like first person
Yes.
shooter?
It wasn't a first person shooter. It was like a squad base where you move your
Yeah.
squad from one area to another. I forgot what it was called though.
They were trying to like use it
Full
to recruit
Full Spectrum Warrior?
or something. It was a recruitment tool, which was I
Yep.
mean it was smart. It was the first smart thing the Army had done for recruitment in a while. Did you see people were getting
Cruise to just
Yeah,
recruit
people are
for
mad.
them?
They're mad that the Navy gave him a public service medal. Like, I mean, Tom Cruise has done more for Navy recruitment
Well,
in the
he's
last
done
40 years.
I mean, he's done so even the first Top Gun, it was about this that malfunction that killed Goose, RIP, was a real issue that he brought light to through his movie. And it changed things or some shit like that.
Yeah, it changed things in that they retired the F-14 like 2 years later for the F-18, so they didn't have to worry about it anymore. That's how the military really works. It's a known issue. We'll get to it. When you get into it, when we replace the vehicle with the new one,
Yeah.
that's when.
Until then, we're sticking. Because the
Yeah.
true enemy is glass.
Oh,
I mean,
there was
Mad, you know
America's
that-
Army, but that was a
Yeah.
different one. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Mad, you know that the Bradley, it's got problems,
Yeah.
and the Army's gonna replace it, fix it when it replaces the Bradley.
Oh, why don't we just add reactive armor to it? Anyway, go on.
So yeah, that was a fun. Tom Cruise. I don't have any problem with Tom Cruise getting a public service medal. He's done.
No.
I mean, he cooperated? I mean, it's really cool when you see the movies. Like the two guys who are like as like joined at the hip with the U.S. military when they make movies are Tom Cruise and Michael Bay. Like they get everything they want.
Well, and also in their defense, the medal that Tom Cruise got was one third the size of the one he got from Scientology.
Well,
Have y'all ever seen the picture of this giant medal he was awarded?
I mean,
No.
if you don't, once you
It
do,
it,
that's
it was Flavor Flav level size of a
you know,
medal.
it's when you've reached the $500 million lifetime donation threshold, you get that
Right.
medal. It's a total value, by the way,
Yeah,
street
yeah.
market
OT Infinite.
is $23.
It's called OT Infinite. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he has no thetans left. He is completely thetan free. Like, unfortunately, Danny Masterson will never reach that level.
He has spoken to Xenu.
Pretty sure they reduced him in his
He's like, Danny, you got caught. We're gonna have to cut ties with you.
But we'll still take your money.
You know, Danny, that's why we do these things on boats. That's why we have the Sea Org. This is what you're supposed to do. All right. What was the big? So, what do we think of
yeah.
the continuing resolution?
Well, real
Eh,
quick, because I just wanted to follow up on the video game thing, because somebody said America's Army in 2002. That was one, but the one we were talking about, it was Full Spectrum Warrior. Um, when the U.S. Army Science and Technology Community, so in like 2000, that's when they started making it.
I just remember it was hilarious because at the time people kept using that clip from the movie Toys, where where they were like, "We're going to use the video games to train the soldiers. They
Yep.
won't even know they're getting recruited." And I was like,
That was a weird movie.
What movie?
Toys.
"Toys."
Oh, see, my first thought was Wing Commander. I think that was a video game based one, wasn't it?
It was, but that
Yeah.
was set in a super futuristic
Oh, what's the
space
movie
fleet.
where there was a game and you're a pilot or whatever, and if you got to a certain level or beat the game, aliens like brought you up and were like, "Hey, now you are here with us to fight because you're so
The
good."
Last Starfighter?
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
No, you said Wing Commander.
Oh, that's the Freddie Prinze one. You're right.
Yeah, that came out 15 years after Last Starfighter. Last
Okay.
At
Starfighter was
least.
1984, and
Yeah.
Wing Commander was 1999. Wing Commander, the only thing it had going for it is that Fox attached the Star Wars trailer to it, and people only bought tickets for Wing Commander. I remember because we had to put signs up that said you're not getting a refund if you buy a ticket just to go watch the trailer and then leave. Because this was before YouTube and the internet, so you had to actually go to the movie theater to watch your trailer.
If
Yep,
you
you
wanted
wait
to see
until
it
what?
like
So for
day
us,
of.
it was Meet Joe Black. So everybody would go watch the trailer, wait for Brad Pitt to get hit by that van, and then we would all leave.
Yeah. That movie wasn't bad. It was just long. Long
Uh,
movie. All right. But back to the actual politics part. Continuing resolution debacle, which may end up either like getting Mike Johnson replaced or actually getting people to shut their mouth about it, seeing that it didn't do much.
Yeah. And
I agree. I'm happy that they cut out the like because some of that shit that was in that 1,400 page mini omnibus was some like protections for big pharma, some protections for January 6th committee members, all the like they were embedding all that stuff in there. So that stuff getting gone is a net positive. I don't I it's I'm not mad that we dropped the omnibus. I'm mad about the like why we had to vote it down one time to end up voting for the same thing the next day.
right.
That's what was stupid. And your political twin down there in Texas, Chip Roy, needs to get his head out of his ass and just get like become a team player. So
At the same time though, I mean, we still funded what, 5 trillion over the next 2 years? I mean,
there's no way this was a 2 year. No, the continuing resolution only goes through I think March.
my understanding is they have it going through 2027.
What
No,
isn't that just certain programs or something that may be included? But the actual it should only be funded for.
let's see. I'm looking up to try to get the dates, but unless it's regular order of you can't. The government doesn't allow you to fund things for multiple years like that because they have fiscal. They could remove the debt ceiling for multiple years.
I think it was the debt ceiling is for 2
No, the debt
years.
ceiling is off the table. I don't think they got the debt ceiling.
They didn't.
I don't know. I didn't get to look into it a whole lot. I saw that they cut it from 1,500 pages to 115, and it still had a ton of spending in it, but it wasn't as many you know, It wasn't
Um,
as much pork that was in the 1500, which I'm glad about. But my thing kind of is, I would have been fine with the government shutdown until January 20th, and then bring in the new Congress. And why are we negotiating at all with the Democrats? This should have been hyper partisan and just whatever
well,
the Republicans decided.
that's why this continuing resolution, I believe, only goes through March, so that it'll be the new Republican Senate and Republican House that will take it going forward.
Yeah.
I'm just, why is it so hard to find out how long something actually? Nobody in the news wants to actually put details of this thing. I should
Right.
I should just ask Grok.
The one detail that I have seen is that we supposedly got rid of cancer research for children.
Wait,
And the whole thing is, the House already passed a bill. It's been sitting in the Senate waiting for the Democrats to
The
actually
Senate,
just
the
pass it.
Senate, no, the Senate finally passed it after after the attention got brought to it.
Okay.
yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
So it didn't need to be in the CR.
All right, so
They could have passed it any time for about, what, 6 or 7 months now?
All right, here you go. The CR only extends federal government operations through March 14th, 2025. That's because the fiscal year for the federal government is October to September. They are supposed to pass budget bills by September, October time for the following year to fund the government the entire time. They haven't passed actual funding bills in God knows how long. They've
We're
just
going
been
to actually go back to having a
regular
budget?
order. Yeah, regular order where they fund each agency as it is. So in addition to just the keeping the government open through March, there's disaster relief. The farm bill was extended, which includes SNAP, which is Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program,
And there was
and
hurricane relief put in there as well, right?
and they did hurt $100 billion for the disaster relief, and then they did include the Francis Scott Key Bridge funding, which so I guess that was one of the things the Democrats got, but that's a much lower than what they were getting in the previous one.
Yeah, and Deeple brought up a point about the original one. Yeah, they were trying to pass a 40% pay increase for Congress.
So what was in this one was the
Crazy Eye
COLA.
Patch McCain has been out there going insane about how he needs a raise.
Yeah, so what they did get was they're just because they have to authorize this the way congressional fund, like budgets work, for their pay, even their COLA, which are cost of living adjustments, are not automatic and have to be authorized in a budget bill. So they got the COLA added, but they didn't get what Dan Crenshaw wanted, which was like the 40% pay raise.
Well, wait, but it wasn't. I have to look it up, but it wasn't a pay raise. It was basically releasing funds that were already supposed to be in place. Like it's incorrect to say that it was a 40% pay raise. There was some things that were being released or something was happening that it wasn't actually a raise. It was money that was already supposed to be there. I think there should be an increase, by the way, in pay for the staff of congressmen and senators.
I think
Not the
we should.
congresswomen,
No,
congressmen.
I think they need to cut staff. I think if
No.
you really want it, no, if you really want problems to go away, the congressman should be allowed one staff member.
Okay. All right, that's bananas. Two, the reason I say that is because of the lobbyist, right? Whenever these staffers they get paid shit, but whenever they start to learn how things work in Washington, they get snatched up for huge pay by lobbyists.
Yeah,
And then
I
so
know.
it's a recycle.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
the
turnover
bureaucracy.
rate.
I
The
have,
turnover rate is ridiculous.
I went to college 50 miles from DC, and I majored in political science. Like if I was working and I had a job, so because I was paying for college and things, but everybody who was not was taking these internships in Capitol Hill and then once they graduated, they moved to being what's called legislative assistants, which are paid shit. and then eventually, after about 7 or 8 years, you can work up to being a chief of staff for a congressman. And if once you're a chief of staff, you basically that's a pretty decent paying
You're
job.
basically doing the job that we actually
Yeah.
elected people to
Yeah,
do, though.
but the chief of staff job, you keep that for basically 2 to 4 terms, which is about 2 years to 8 years, and then you turn around and cash in like mad, saying you then get a $300,000 to $400,000 a year lobbyist job, and you just cash in the rest. And that it's true on both sides. Democrat lobby, like people turn into lobbyists who want to get Democrats on board. Republican staffers turn into lobbyists to get Republicans on board. That's how you get the uniparty, because they all work at the same K Street lobbying firms. And then when Qatar comes in, or Ukraine comes in and spends $100 million on lobbying, they pay the same firms, and the firm dispatches their Republican people and their Democrat people to go make sure that Ukraine's money gets spent.
And
It's
for a good
terrible.
chunk of the staff, not necessarily like the chief of staff and those positions, but a good chunk of who gets assigned to a congressman, it's just they have a pool of interns and those people get assigned. You don't get to choose who's working for you for the most part.
No, you do. You 100% do.
Yeah, for like the chief of staff, but not
No,
for
you
your
pick
interns and stuff.
Yeah, no, the interns. No, you still get to pick your interns. What happens is
so.
yes, 100%. You're
I
talking
thought
about
they were doing it by assignment.
No, interns. You usually, so like, say you're like in my circumstance, you had someone who was going to college down in Fredericksburg, Virginia. They would contact their local congressperson and say that they want to get an internship while they're at college, and they would get given the intern. The congressman isn't deciding the interns generally. It's usually like chief of staff or legislative aides for like picking but it's still coming from their picks. They still pick their interns. If they don't have enough, they might go to a pool, but they get to pick first.
Makes sense.
And then, though, from that internship pool, they decide who gets to fill the jobs. And it's just a what is it, incestuous, terrible system that feeds on itself for money and power, and it's not good. That's why I say allow them one staff member, because then bills wouldn't be 2,000 pages long. They would be 1 or 2 pages long, and it would be very clear and understandable.
I don't think that's what's keeping it from being a precise or like a condensed bill. I don't think it's because, oh, I'm sorry about this 800 page bill. I got too many staff, all these interns I got running around.
No,
I don't.
it's because the staff members work with the people from the industries that they're trying to regulate,
the lobbyists,
and they'll work out what gets everybody the biggest pork that they want, and they'll make 2,000-3,000 page bills.
But you're treating the symptom, not the virus, not the actual cause. The cause is the lobbyist. That that should be the focus.
Well, I mean, if we really wanted, regardless of staff members, and there's no way to constrain a future Congress outside of a constitutional amendment to restrict bills to no more than 10 pages, there's no reason a bill should be more than 10 pages.
Right. No, Tina, I know they don't write their own bill. I don't, but my issue was that it's so large because of how big their staff is. I think the problem is who's influencing what's going in the bill, not.
And there is there is definitely an element where as you increase middle management, things tend to bloat in bureaucracy.
True. Okay, I'll give you that. But
I mean, look at education. You add more as you add more administrators, the code of behavior and all these other things start to get bigger and longer, and so I think if you condensed it down and then that would make congressmen, like, they are supposed to be citizen legislatures. When they complain that they're not getting paid enough, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to be Congress was never supposed to be a full-time job.
Right, but we don't live in that world anymore,
public
though.
Service.
But why don't we live in there's no reason Congress has to be full-time now.
it kind of isn't full time. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
they
thing,
take
though.
so many recesses, and ultimately, they may work for 6 months, and then they start campaigning for their next 2 years.
That's what I think. Congress, if they're complaining, like, now the downside, I know people, like, even for the time it takes to leave for maybe a 2-month session, if you're not getting paid properly, it would be a problem. Like, that's the argument against it. Like, you have to pay us a full wage and make us full time, because it's basically the same argument would make for NFL referees.
You think they're gonna form a union?
What, congressmen? They don't need it. They give them, but no, because they already have the government already does have a union for government employees, which is FDR, for instance, hated it and banned it and made it illegal, but they allowed it later. The civil service union is actually terrible. They allow something called double time, or official time is the term for it. Did you know you pay people who in the federal government civil service to not do their actual civil service job, but to do their union work?
That makes sense. I mean,
We pay for everything else.
I had to have a rep with me every time I spoke to my supervisors when I was a cop. That was mostly because I was mouthy.
Yeah, mad
You?
needing to get talking
Mouthy?
tos. That's shocking.
How many times did you pretend to quit by slamming your gun and your badge down on the table?
They got me. Oh man, that's a regret. I will never.
That you never did it?
Yeah, I'll never let that one go. I really regret never doing that moment.
Oh, that's sad. That would have been great to, like, make, but, like, Captain, what are you doing? Your captain's asked. It's like, I'm setting up the GoPro. Why? Because I got to get this on camera. What are you talking about? It's like, well, if you don't trust me, throw the badge, throw the gun, then you don't want me
Consider this my resignation.
You think I'm less dangerous? Not as a cop.
I'll do this on my terms, my
You
way.
don't want me out there as a citizen.
Wait, hold on, Captain, hold on. We're gonna go from one. I want to get one more take for safety.
It's like
the gate.
No, I was like, Captain, hold on. I got to shift the angle because I know that we like to have multiple angles when we're editing. So what I need you to do is stand right here so we can get the 2 cameras set up here. I need your reactions.
It's like in So I Married an Axe Murderer, where the captain is trying to appease the guy who's the cop. He's like, so did I sound better that time? Did I sound a little bit more commanding?
It's like, I got some notes. But you're getting better.
But I don't have time to talk about it right now. I've got to actually go do some cop work.
No, you're not supposed to fire me. You know what? We'll fix it in post. We'll get you in for ADR.
I would like to thank Zax for sending his raid from last night over to here in the morning. So we did have a few people that actually showed up after waking up this morning. So thank you,
cool.
Zax.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Zax. Cool guy.
Well, it's going to pale in comparison to the number of viewers we'll get from Mad's new channel.
That's true. Mad's got a new channel coming.
Yep. Working on the video now.
I don't know on a Sunday if we say next week, are we already considering it next week? Because Sunday
it's going to be within the next couple of days. I'm finishing up one of my premiere videos right now.
Now we're cutting down to days instead of next week.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Got a name and everything.
So is it launching in the new year at this point?
That would be a safer bet in the next couple of days.
Than the next couple of days.
All right. So I think the issue for me with the continuing resolution was that we didn't actually really change anything by day 2 when we re-voted on it.
Right.
So it was
once again we just look like idiots for a couple days.
Because dumb, and I swear to God, people were like, Chip Roy is just being principled. Kiss my ass. He was for impeaching Trump after January 6th. He was all for a lot of other things. So Chip Roy is not your, pure as the driven snow guy. It's the same.
There's a few people they've been going after. Chip Roy, Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace is a political freaking chameleon who puts whatever gets Nancy Mace's face on TV is what Nancy Mace does. And that's the thing people need to realize about her.
He's the Jamie Dutton of real life.
Yes.
You
Nancy
can tell
Mace.
Mad started watching Yellowstone
Yeah.
at this point.
So Nancy Mace, to give people, and I just mentioned it before, the context for Nancy Mace's entire career. Right now, she's trying to rebranch it that like she's an SA survivor, so that's motivator. She was the woman who sued to get into the Citadel, to be the
Right.
first woman in the Citadel, because she said it was unfair to have a male only space like that. So
She's the one who also at last year's, I think it was the National Prayer Breakfast, or it may have been 2 years ago, she got up on stage and was telling everybody at the National Prayer Breakfast how her boyfriend or whoever she's living with tried to pull her back into bed for a quickie before she left, but she said, "No, I've got to go do this National Prayer Breakfast
I
thing."
remember that.
I feel
Also,
like that's not a good reading of the room.
Not the best take, especially when it's like not your husband or whatever for the prayer breakfast.
by the way, I'm gonna say something, and I don't want you guys to hold it against me, but when you said Citadel, I'm like, wait, she was playing Mass Effect? Was she in the game? What?
I didn't play Mass Effect. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
assuming it's something from it.
Yeah, Citadel is a reference to the military academy, like VMI in Virginia.
Mhm.
They were the major private military colleges that actually produced pretty consistently solid officers. That's West Point used
And
to do
Nancy
that
Mace.
too, and Nancy Mace. So Nancy Mace has been an attention whore since day one, and
So
Nancy
she's been a
Mace is about
woman.
Nancy
She's a
Mace is
cis
about
woman.
Nancy Mace. So, and the other person I got a problem with, even though I get it, he's been principled allegedly about, is Thomas Massey. I get it. You vote no on everything on principle. But at a certain point, when you've only got a like 3-seat majority, you need to get on the team. It's the same argument I make against
Yeah.
when the abortion people were like, "Well, I'm not going to vote for Trump." I was like, "You've got two choices who can win. One is Trump and one is Kamala. Who do you think's going to be better on abortion with what you'd like as the end goal, Kamala or Trump? Get on board and make the choice of on that." So. In Mace's defense, perhaps she takes Ambien during the day. So
We're
these
hitting
guys,
all the lore today.
yeah. But this no caucus, all right. The problem is, so this is why Democrats were so effective when Pelosi was like, she had a 3-seat majority for a long time too, and they never
vote in lockstep.
lost these votes. Never. Now, Nancy Pelosi would throw things out there so people could make, so the blue dog Democrat types could vote no to things on purpose. She gave them cover to say, well, I voted no on all these things. But when it came to like the rubber hitting the road, when she needed a budget bill or Obamacare or any of those things passed, they all vote for it. Even AOC, who likes to pretend her and the squad are so down for revolution, voted lockstep every frickin' time they told him to.
Did you see Trump's response to AOC running for Democrat leadership?
He was sorry that she lost.
Yeah. Sorry that you lost. Someday you'll be successful.
Oh. That's rough, man.
he's
it's not wrong, but
right.
Well, maybe he's wrong about her being successful one day. What I mean is, yeah, that's rough.
Trump has been like on fire with his social media
with
of late.
his tweets and
I'm really digging the
through socials.
Panama Canal shit too. Like,
Yeah.
like
I missed
he's
that
right. Oh, you didn't yesterday? He basically sent out a message to Panama saying that Jimmy Carter was a retard and that he, like, when he gave away the Panama Canal, but the entire moral and legal justification was for that it would be a partnership with Panama running it, not with Panama doing what they're doing now, which is giving it to China. So Trump's basically like, you're going to give it back, or you're going to, like, we're not. It is a vital national security interest for the U.S. So either you get on board with doing it the way it was supposed to be, or we're taking it back. So, which is exactly how it should be. In conjunction with what he's been saying to Trudeau about Canada, it's just been great. I can't wait for Greenland to be a part of the U.S. too. It's gonna all be
Yeah, during
Trump's
the
gonna.
last administration, he was talking about taking Greenland. We'll just
Well,
take the northern hemisphere.
I
well,
think he just wants to take a country. It doesn't matter which one.
well. The thing is,
Yeah,
Greenland actually
conquest.
Greenland makes a lot of sense because it's also a vital access point to oil in that zone, and Russia has just been setting up oil drilling up there like it's nothing.
You're 100% right, but you can't dismiss the fun factor. The
I get the
You know what I
feeling that
mean?
Trump played Risk a lot, and he's like, "We've got to have Greenland to
You
block
got to
access.
protect North
We
America
gotta
by
have
having
Green-
Greenland so
we gotta
Europe
have
can't
Greenland."
invade.
He's like, if we get Greenland, don't we get the bonus?
Yeah, we get the extra cards.
He's like, if I take Greenland and Canada, we'll get extra military units. It'll be great.
Plus, the Europeans will just try to reclaim Greenland every now and then just to get their cards, and then you just take it back. You don't really care if it goes out of your hands for a little
We're
bit.
just trading it back and forth. It's okay, people.
Yeah. We should play Risk.
I thought we were going to. I gotta
Yeah,
look it up. I gotta find
Yeah,
where it is.
we've got
Steam?
we got to play Risk on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think I know that we had all downloaded it, but
Where did we all download it from? So
it was
chat
on
knows.
Steam.
Steam.
Okay.
It's Risk Global Domination, I think, is the free one. It's a pretty good
I
one.
played it on my phone.
Yeah.
I
Don't
enjoyed
get
it.
Greenland, get Iceland. It's green, not ice. Mental warfare.
Fucking Mighty Ducks 3. I know that reference. That's
Here,
where I learned it.
I'm gonna share Benny Johnson that I found where he shared the tweet from Trump
Okay.
about the Panama Canal, which is great. It's hard to read, so I'll just kind of read through the parts of I'm going to go to the second and third parts where he gets to the fees being charged by Panama are ridiculous, especially knowing the extraordinary generosity that has been bestowed to Panama by the U.S. This complete ripoff of our country will immediately stop. The United States has a vested interest in the secure, efficient, reliable operation of the Panama Canal, and that was always understood. We would and will never let it fall into the wrong hands. It was not given for the benefit of others, but merely as a token of cooperation with us in Panama. If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to us in full and without question. To the officials of Panama, please be guided accordingly. He's like, it's ours, baby. It's our canal. Oh. What do you think, Mad? Should we get it back?
I mean, I guess it the name recognition alone would be worth the investment.
Well, he's right. 38,000 Americans died building it. So it's not a Panamanian engineering miracle.
True.
Brahma,
I mean,
I'm not hearing Brahma. Are you hearing him?
no,
Oh,
is he talking?
Okay,
The project was ours, so
yeah, there it is.
we're the ones who put the money and the manpower into it.
Yeah, just because we don't own the land or the country doesn't mean that we don't get it.
Well, I mean, at a certain point, the people have to be realistic about how things actually work. The kumbaya
we're in charge.
post-Soviet like fall, where everything was going to be citizens of the world, hasn't worked for anybody. It actually really only empowers China and those types of governments. So we need the thing that actually protects individual freedom and promotes it is having a country like the United States looking out for its interests. And then we're more likely to let you slide if you're not being
A dick.
So it's basically, I mean, I don't want to say it's summed up perfectly by Team America with their with their theory of politics, but that pretty much is what it is. You got to have that country be that way. Otherwise, if you let it be run by a bunch of film actors guilders, you're going to run into problems.
You get what we've had the last 4 years.
Yeah, basically since, honestly, going back to George W. Bush, like, those guys, this also, I mean, I don't want to say 9/11. 9/11 basically is the line of demarcation where things really just went to shit. They allow, because 9/11 is what's prompted the Patriot Act, which allowed them to put into a lot of internal domestic spying programs, which then were completely abused by Obama by the time he got in, to start using it against everyday Americans and weaponizing the government in a lot of
And
bad
the other
ways.
political party.
And the other political party. I mean, remember, people, that Operation Crossfire Hurricane was an intel operation that allowed them to basically try to take down an elected president.
Correct.
So,
And Lois Lerner at the IRS and everything else that was going on during that time period.
yeah, I mean, it's not like everything was perfect before 9/11, but the mechanisms that were allowed to, that were put in place post 9/11 to F with the American citizenry, that is where, it was natural, and people argued it at the time. These are going to be abused. It's going to be the recipe for being able to do a lot of bad things, and we just went for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of bad things that happen when you suddenly get bipartisanship because
Yeah.
of a major event affecting the country.
and honestly, has the TSA ever actually stopped anything?
No,
No.
I think there's some stats on that. How many they've let go by during the
During
test or whatever
tests,
that they do.
yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. There's no reason for them to be there. They're that bad.
They only seem to catch my lighters.
Not to mention, if people read the fine print, the TSA isn't just for airports. In theory, the government could start positioning TSA on highways and pulling you over and checking things. Because transportation, when you read the broad context of the authorization of that agency, they are allowed it. Like, there's TSA agents that mess with truckers that check on things. I mean, you'd think it sounds crazy that you just think the TSA is airports.
Well, it's
But it's
the
not.
same with Border Patrol. You know what I mean? They can be I forgot how many actual miles it is, but they can be way the hell far away from the border. I always messed with them. Well, I did when I was a cop. I don't do it anymore. I don't have that coverage. Anyway, but I would go and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so lost. How did that end up at the border?" They're like, "You're not at the border." I'm like, it's kind of confusing. What with your little pads there saying Border Patrol? I was just assuming that I was the one
This
over
is
there.
this is the part where Mad was confirming how mouthy he was as a police officer. Mad is basically, when going back to Die Hard, he was like, John McClane seemed to have the right attitude about talking to superiors and fellow officers. He was like,
Yippee-ki-yay.
if I was in a building, how would I get the attention of a officer from another jurisdiction? I'd throw a body on him. That
It
sounds
worked.
about right.
Drop a body on the car.
And then what would you say? Welcome to the party, pal. That's what you say. That's what you do.
So our other topic for the week was Amfest, which my daughter has been screaming at me all morning that I didn't take her because Trump is actually speaking right now at Amfest.
Wait, is he still speaking? Because you said that before we even went live.
Well, at the moment, he's standing behind Ted Cruz, who's speaking, because he keeps just bringing on new speakers to speak in front of him while he stands behind them and looms.
Wait, what?
So,
Is it a roast? Is he on a throne of some sort? Like,
no, I mean, there's the podium. Ted Cruz is at the podium, and Trump is just standing behind him, watching him speak. I mean, he's done some speaking, then he'll bring somebody on, and then they'll talk for a little bit, then Trump will speak again, and then he'll bring somebody else up on stage. It's like, I mean, Trump is the keynote speaker, and it's pretty early in the day. So apparently they just decided, well, instead of having all the speakers and then having Trump go last, we're just going to have Trump stand there and watch while everybody else speaks, and he'll just say things in between.
It's like to go to Eric Myers in the chat point. It is basically like a roast. Donald Trump is the roast master, and he's bringing up the different people to talk. And Trump is going to say something like, "Hey, welcome to the Zodiac Killer."
Yeah, Ted Cruz just got done talking. Trump patted him on the shoulder and went back up to the mic and is speaking again right now.
I want him to have a mic on him, like so he can do live commentary on the
Right.
who are speaking.
Remember when I accused Ted's dad of killing JFK?
No, don't trust his dad, but he seems like a good guy. You can't hold him responsible for the actions of his father.
It's okay. I don't trust Trudeau either. You know, he's the bastard child of
Fidel
Castro. It's okay. Your mom couldn't resist. It makes sense.
He's got a huge connection to Fidel.
Oh, the constant trolling of Canada the last couple weeks has been amazing. Like
They take it so seriously
they're so
too.
pissed off.
My God, take a joke.
And then there's the ones that actually have a sense of humor that are like, yeah, that would actually be awesome. Please do. But yeah, Trudeau, the whole thing with Canada right now is insane. Trudeau ended up waiting out until everybody went on holiday before resigning, because he was set to resign like at the beginning of the week. And
well,
I
I
was
think
well,
I
there's
think
only
it
3
was,
days left, so maybe I can survive 2 weeks.
It was when the that one, what is it, offshoot party finally tanked him.
The Indian dude
No,
that had
Trudeau
been supporting him the whole time, and
I
then
guess Trudeau
basically
still
said,
has
yeah,
he
no
still hasn't
confidence.
resigned.
No, he hasn't, because
Yeah.
they went into their holiday break. He basically waited out the holiday break so that he can have a couple weeks off, so that he can, see if when we come back from holiday, if people have just decided they like him again, or if they've forgotten what happened before the holiday. Because who was it? It was his Secretary of Commerce, essentially.
Oh, it was the
resigned,
it was the finance
person
minister
behind her. Yeah, finance.
It was Freelander. She's a see you next
Yeah.
Tuesday of the highest order, by the way.
Yeah. So she resigns, and then the person behind her that was next to step up was like, no, I don't want that job at all.
It's because they were
and
also
resigned.
it was the day that they were supposed to announce their quarterly economic report, which
Right.
is terrible. It was just an absolute disaster. And so she resigned before she had to do it. And then the next person up was like, I'm not effing going on TV.
Not going anywhere near
I'm
that.
not going to be the one who has to announce that. So peace out, Justin. I'm done. And yeah, so now Trudeau, he's trying to hopefully he's not resigning. He's going to apparently make them play
Call
doing
for a new vote.
do the vote
election.
of no well, no, they have to do, if first comes the vote of no confidence. So in a parliamentary system, for those of you who watch Star Wars, the Phantom Menace, the no confidence vote means that when a majority of members of the parliament vote no confidence, basically the prime minister is out, because you have to have the majority support of the parliament to maintain your role as prime minister, and that'll trigger the vote for a new election. And then he'll have to snap elections. I think they can schedule things as close as, I think 2 months is like the minimum amount of time for a snap election, to try to get one together. That's the earliest.
I'm not
complicated.
sure. Canada is not a real country, so I don't pay attention to their politics really. So I just know that Trudeau is an idiot. And,
I mean, the Maple Leafs aren't a real team, so it's okay. Things worked out.
That is a fact.
Look at Mad getting quiet because he's like, hockey. Ugh.
What?
No, Mad's quiet because politics.
No, I'm like, I gotta write a song for Matsplanation Animal Kingdom. That may be a little bit of a teaser on what video will be is being worked on for the new channel.
Nice.
Maybe
I think you should definitely import the Rhinosaur video directly into the new channel, just to get everybody hooked.
I'm actually going to be doing a remix, not a remix. What would you call it? Like a reboot?
Are you doing the remix to Ignition over here?
Well, it's hot and fresh out the kitchen.
And then share a link directly to George.
Yep. Yeah, I'm
just to make sure that
I'm
his
rebooting
niece
it.
Watches it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
do you want to tell that story real quick?
What? Oh no, it's nothing. So I had this video series called Matsplanation Animal Kingdom One of the first ones was about rhinosaurs, and George was like, he was hanging out with his nieces and nephews, like looking for something on YouTube to play for them. He's like, "Oh, Mad, he's a funny guy. I should play his video about rhinosaurs."
He's very family friendly.
Yeah. Not knowing that most of the video was not my fault. This is what they did in the video, was rubbing their dicks on things. That's the thing that their rhinos
Yeah.
are known for.
The
So that
rhino
became a
literally is just rubbing its dick on a log most of the
that's a
video.
big focus of the video. He wasn't prepared, but his nieces and nephews are changed forever.
Yep.
Anyway, so you're doing that.
So we can look forward to that from the new channel.
Fuck you, bro.
Oh, I
Chad,
just found a like Hakeem Jeffries clip. He do you know what the 3 priorities for the Democrats are now going over the next couple of years?
recycle, reduce, and reuse.
Lowering costs, less taxes on Americans, and safer communities. I
Oh,
feel
weird.
that's weird. That sounds pretty similar to another party. I don't know what they're doing.
And yet, when that other party tries to do it, they're going to try to block it at every point they can over the next 4 years. So it doesn't seem like they actually mean it.
Oh, they let Brett Cooper speak at Amfest.
Yeah, she spoke last night. That was awkward.
Wow.
Was it covered by the Daily Wire?
Well,
Yeah,
obviously
Daily Wire
there-
is the co.
That was a joke.
It's yeah.
Obviously there was some lack in their NDA if she was allowed to do this.
Why?
I don't know why. What? Allow her to speak in public?
This is the poll quote. Individual friends come and go. People will disappoint you. The figures that I once trusted might fall short. But on the other side of all those changes and all those disappointments is a better us. I mean, you could read into that whatever you want to. That's what I'm saying. But you don't have to read that deeply.
I only watched a few minutes of it, but she's also not the best live speaker. Like, she was almost like hyperventilating up there. Like, I mean, her channel is all edited video, right? I mean, so she's reading off the teleprompter and doing that. Live speaking, she would forget to breathe quite a bit. It was kind of funny, but I wish Brett Cooper well in whatever she does next, but she's also kind of hurting herself by having 250,000 subscribers and not putting a video out yet, because she's never going to hit the algorithm if she doesn't get going.
I don't think she's worried about hitting the algorithm. She'll get plenty of attention. People
Maybe.
I mean, that's like saying, like, why doesn't Tucker try to manipulate the algorithm? At a certain point, you reach saturation and you don't need it. She'll be fine. The question is how good her performance in Pendragon is, and if her NDA requires her to do promo work for that, since it's the Daily Wire.
Do you think that their Snow White is now DOA or not?
Shelved? That'd be a lot of money to just flush down the toilet.
Yeah, for a company that doesn't really have the ability to afford.
The Daily Wire is apparently, I forget what place put out like the background thing that the Daily Wire is hemorrhaging money and has issues. There was like a report on that.
Boring basically had said that he would welcome an investment and possibly a buyout from, say, Fox News.
Oh yeah, you know what it was? It was the reporting on Tim Pool being bought out by Daily Wire.
Right. So you had Brett Cooper getting essentially fired, rumors that Tim Pool was going to work for the Daily Wire, and you had rumors that Fox News might be welcome to purchase the Daily Wire, all in the same week.
So
the Fox News part didn't catch on near as much as the other two.
Yeah, I mean, the Tim Pool thing is interesting in that I think Tim Pool doesn't need the money. I think he pulls in plenty of funding. It's just that Tim Pool is not interested in actually running like the business.
He hates
entity.
producing a show.
Yeah, he hates. Well, no, it's not just producing; it's running employees. Like
that too.
If you listen to
producing the show,
yeah, if you listen to Tim, well, it's not even just the show part. It's he runs websites with news reporting and other things, and he doesn't want to deal with the idea of like, people goofing off or not doing jobs, and
He's a lot like
it's
Mad. He just wants to be the talent. Just show up
Yes.
and do the thing, and then not have to
Oh.
worry about it.
But he's too see, here's how I'm better than Tim Pool. He wants to control everything about it. I don't want any control. I just want to show up and be the talent.
That
What
is
else
the
do-
problem that Tim Pool's had. Like, he's not willing. So he has he doesn't want to do it at all, but he's not willing to allow anyone to do it because he wants to
Right.
be the one who micromanages it, which is a problem. You can't be completely consumed and upset because you don't want to have to run a business and then not allow, like, so what I do in my
But
real
then he
world
also
job.
holds it
Yeah.
over their heads that, hey, you're living in my house.
Yeah.
So I'm still in charge no matter what I say you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. So that's
I'm
the
going
other
to tell
thing.
you what to do.
Like, Tim Pool needs to get out of the commune business. He needs to start running it legit. Like,
I wonder how David Crest handled his.
yeah. Well, first he married the young girls, and then then he amassed a lot of guns, and then the ATF decided they were going to light him on fire.
Janet Reno was
Allegedly.
like, I'm going to burn this MFer down.
I thought it was
Allegedly.
the ATF who did it.
Janet
Or
Reno
no.
was directly responsible for it.
Well, the ATF is under DOJ, so yeah.
Yeah. But it was Janet Reno who was on TV every night talking about what they were going to do or not do.
I just think
They
it's
did
funny
a lot more than I think they meant to do.
because the Daily Wire burned all this money on trying to do entertainment stuff, but they did it so half-assed. I mean, I think it's only fair to acknowledge, as much as I love Gina Carano, I think she's a great person, the Terror on the Prairie wasn't the best vehicle
It
for her.
was
No, it's not a very good movie.
it was
The-
fu- it was
The
fun.
most successful movie the Daily Wire had was the Run, Hide, Fight one.
Run, Hide,
But
Fight.
they just bought
You
the
know,
rights for it.
That's
Which
though.
they
what I was
just
gonna.
purchased,
That's what I was
yeah.
gonna say. That was a regularly produced movie that they just bought distribution rights for.
And it was a
The-
legitimately good movie.
Yeah, and everything they've done themselves has not been good. Like,
No,
Lady
you
Ballers,
can't say that because
Lady.
both of Matt Walsh's documentaries have been pretty good.
But
See,
that's
I
an
don't-
entirely different.
That's the
But
fake
that is part of
documentary.
their entertainment productions.
True.
Yeah, but they also probably spent a fraction of that, like what
But-
they spent on Lady Ballers. It was probably cost 3 times as much to make Lady Ballers as his 2 documentaries.
I think what the issue is, other than what I may have been told by inside sources, I think part of the issue is that there's not a lot of people that wanted to work with them
In
with
the Hollywood
experience in
side?
Hollywood. Yeah.
Well, Hollywood, yeah, they
So
definitely
they
weren't going.
did it on their own, and you have a first time director, first time writer, first time comedian, first time everything in that sphere, doing all of it. And allegedly, according to some of my sources, may have been a little too controlling and not letting people punch up his script.
That is something that is said about Jeremy Boring.
Wow, I didn't mean him. I was talking about the God
You mean the
King,
first
little
time
G.
writer? First, yeah.
I
mean,
think the
Jeremy
Daily-
Boring always wanted to actually be part of Hollywood, I think. And
all right, so Jeremy Boring, and we make fun of this on the other side, and I'm going to say this for the right. Jeremy Boring is a theater kid who clearly is trying to live out his high school dreams.
he now has the power to actually do what he wanted to do.
And it's become a
but
problem
without them.
Yeah, he's running off. Anyway, if they were smart, what they would have done is the Daily Wire should have basically made a Touchstone Pictures type imprint where they are background funding the movies getting made, so that they can get the Hollywood people, and you could get away with doing that. Like, there's a lot of people in Hollywood that aren't smart enough to follow the money as long as it didn't say Daily Wire Productions. But the problem is it's the same thing with Tim Pool. You got to check your ego. You got to be able to pull your name off of it to be able to pull that off.
Well,
And they weren't willing to do that.
well, you also have to have somebody that reins you in. Like, no, George, that's too far. Like, oh, no, but it's politics. Everyone loves politics, and can I get a Diet Coke? You know what I mean? You need somebody to rein him in, and that's what I think he's missing. He's too in control. Does that make sense?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Same thing with Tim Pool. Like, there's nobody who checks both of them. They run it as they want to, and they're both making the errors because they have nobody. It happened anytime. This is true whether it's a director. Like, look at Ridley Scott. No one keeps that asshole in check now, and his movies have gone to shit.
Who?
Like
What? Taka Wakiki?
Taika Waititi, the same thing. Like, once a director loses the guy, like someone who actually says, "Hold on, you need to. Here's your budget and here's your constraints, and you don't get to just get away with everything you want." You lose. Egos get out of control and things go bad.
No supervision is not a good thing.
Exactly. There needs to be checks and balances.
Right. Unless it's regarding me, then that's fine. But
You're your
as
own
far as
check
other
and balance
people,
because you run through the medication too fast and you can't ever
well,
get.
okay, that may
And I know who your check and balance is, and
not a reliable check and balances.
Yeah.
But
Mads Dealer falls for it too fast sometimes. Like,
But-
Mads, the giddiness when Mads like, look what I managed to get.
He's tricked way too easily. I'm like, oh man, Brahmagus text me. Oh man, he really needs me for this stream. Anyway,
When's the stream? 3 days. It's in 3 days. What are you doing now? Playing zombies?
but real quick, in my defense though, I shouldn't have that much supervision as far as my content because I know what's funny, and you know what I mean. I make things that are funny for me because they should be funny for smart people. I'm not gonna say everyone because there are a couple people that are like, I don't get it. Well, that's because you don't get shit. But I think when you're in my never mind, this is going never mind.
I mean, I've been
When
doing
you're
stuff
at
with you for 2.5 years,
Well,
and I still
no,
don't get it.
we know we
See?
need to get on. We need to get on Mads level. That's what we need to do.
Basically, yes.
Get on my level.
We all need a Deadshot daiquiri so that we can understand what he's doing. It's the only way to get on his level.
Kinda.
So, Chad, have you watched any of Amfest or not?
I've seen clips. It looks like a good time. I've seen there's a lot of people at the podcaster like Radio Row type thing. Is that where
Yeah.
you would have been if you had gone?
Yeah, that's where Vet's Talking is, and well, as far as I know, Culture Casino is. I haven't seen anything from Culture. I guess he's gonna probably just edit things down and make videos out of it. Adam tried to play a video last night with, well, I think Mad went to smoke, playing with Drew Outstanding and Danica Patrick. And then Adam learned real quick that you can't just play an unedited video with Drew Outstanding because he talks a lot about where his injury came from, and YouTube does not like that. But yeah, there's apparently a ton of people have set up podcasting booths and stuff. And from what I heard, Trump was supposed to have either yesterday or today just made his way down the podcasting row. So I really should have gone. I mean, the opportunity was there, but I had people in town, so it felt kind of weird to just take off for 4 days while I've got all of my family here. So
I mean, only if you enjoy your family or they enjoy you, would that be weird? If it's in-laws, I don't know why you're there now. You should have left immediately.
I mean, the in-laws all basically live in my house. So
Oh yeah, that's right. That's at the estate. That's right.
yeah, the estate. Why I'm in a garage.
I do like.
so you have a garage?
Did you see Slender's thing? Mad needs so much supervision. He just doesn't realize he's being supervised. Are you in
It's
a?
true.
You just
If
being
you don't give
observed?
Mad a time, Mad will not figure out the time on his own. He must be babysat all the way to the stream.
Mad,
Yes.
Except for this morning when he just shows up out of the blue.
Yeah, because I'm responsible and shit. What?
Mad, I'm gonna ask you. This is a random question, and you can comment
All right.
as needed. Is it possible you're actually part of a long-term research experiment being observed by somebody?
You know that. So I've had a couple thoughts about this. If the government, right? I don't know if you ever heard of the not ultimatum. Damn it! What's that fucking program called?
Ultra.
MK Ultra.
MK.
Yeah,
Ultra.
MK Ultra, right? Yeah, that's based on me. I don't know if you know this. I mean, yeah, I would see why they would be interested in me, and both in an entertainment level and also just the knowledge that I could give them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the influence if they had you under their control.
Oh man, see, they know. That's why I see some of the best shit on Twitter. No one ever sees it except for like Lou Diamond Phillips and a couple other people, Neil Breen. But I get suppressed everywhere: YouTube, X, Insta, MySpace, wherever, right?
Did you
Because
just call it Insta?
yeah.
He did. No
Hey man,
cap.
don't hate on my Riz. That's Delulu. No cap. So yeah, man, they don't want me to lead the people in
I
a
love Slender Chad. You're under NDA. None of this works if Matt finds out what's going on. That's the great thing about Matt. You could tell it to his face, and he would. He's
I would
like,
think about it.
I
I'd
would
probably
think about it.
I would text Brahma, yo, Brahma, you think they really watching me?
no. What the thing with Matt
And I'd
is,
just flat out say yes, and then he'd just be paranoid for a few days and then forget
no.
about it.
Matt's like, is it? Someone will be like, is it possible that you're just like the star of a 24-hour reality show where everyone's just watching you? And Matt will be just like, yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah. Is that not the case? I just assumed that was the case, that I am the star of my own show.
Isn't that
That's
how it happens for everybody?
That's what. Yeah, every time I get up, Shredder's like, "Why are you doing makeup?" Because I'm being watched.
Like when the big
I'm
Truman
constantly
Show
on.
reveal happens, Matt is going to be like, yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I kind of figured. This is not a mystery to me. Come on, guys. Places. Let's get back in this. It sweeps.
This may probably most of you already know this. It's pretty well known, but Ashton Kutcher could never punk me because I could always see it coming. That's why he never tried.
That's why. Yeah.
He punked Danny Masterson pretty good.
Oh, that was funny actually. That was
It was a
pretty
long game.
Matt Gaetz says he might run for Florida Senate. No, he would get his ass kicked. Nope.
Yeah, but did you hear what he said yesterday?
What did
After
he say?
they basically voted to release his ethics committee, all the hearing stuff. He
I
said,
thought they said no,
I
I
only
thought that vote
resigned from the
lost.
current Congress, and I can come in because I was reelected, and for one day I can just put a resolution to release everybody's hush money payments that Congress, the slush fund that they have for all of their essays and everything else. He said,
Yeah.
I'll come in. I will put a resolution that says that we're releasing all of that, and then I will go on my new show on, I can't remember which network he got a show on, but was it OANN or
One American News? Yeah, probably.
yeah, but he's got a new show. He said, then I'll just go resign from Congress again that night. But he said, I'll get sworn in, I'll go in, do this, and then resign that night on my new show where I'm making money. So he
Not a
wasn't
bad
real
plan.
happy. What's that?
Not a bad plan.
No, it'd be funny.
I mean,
Because technically he was elected to the new Congress. He can be sworn in like any other.
He could. I don't know. I just think Gates needs to be more realistic about. I get it. He's pulling the grift, which is fine. He's not a state level winner. He's not going to win. Matt Gaetz is like, what was the guy in Kansas, Kobach, who kept running for state office in Kansas and kept losing because he would win the primary.
You mean Kerry Lake?
Oh yeah, Kerry Lake. That's a good example. Current year, good current year pull there.
More
bro.
modern. Yeah.
Yeah. Know what?
Remember
Kerry Lake.
Ross Perot when he would run for?
Now, you want to see this chart now?
I think Kerry Lake needs to make the comeback once she grows her hair out. She's not going to win while she's still got the power. If you're
can't
close,
get elected like Ernst now.
If you're
have the Ernst haircut.
Yeah, if your closest doppelganger is Brigitte Nielsen from Rocky IV, you're not
Oh
winning.
boy.
Tell me that's not the look though. That is 100% Carrie's look.
You could have said Bridget Nielsen from any movie she's ever been in. It didn't matter the movie.
No, she had long hair in Red Sonja.
Red Sonja, she had long, yeah.
It was probably
I
a
watched.
wig.
Sorry. I watched the man version of that.
Arnold
Conan.
Schwarzenegger was in
Yeah, I
it.
couldn't come up with it.
He was
Conan
playing.
was in Red Sonja.
Yeah,
Just not
except
named
he
as
wasn't
Conan.
Conan. Yeah.
He was.
Oh
but
yeah.
he wasn't named it.
Eric has got a good point. Megan Kelly proving the Carrie Late haircut theory. Like as the hair, it's like Samson. As the hair gets longer, the femininity and winter comes back. So,
It's true.
I mean,
Nobody should have a bob
you can't look like
or a flat top.
You can't look
You
like
can't
an
look like Kurt
astronaut.
Warner's wife.
You can't look like an
Aw.
astronaut going on a Mercury mission and win as a woman. Or
Megan grew out her hair and now she's seducing America on her desk.
when she was I think I sent the clip to Brahma when she was acting out some of the Hegseth police
Yeah, where she
report.
got on the
Yeah.
desk and put her legs up in the air.
I was like, okay, Megan's just lost all filters. Speaking
And
of
then
someone,
she immediately said, I should not have done that. I should not have done that at all.
she does have doesn't she have like 5 kids?
I think 3.
3?
It's either 2 or 3, I think.
I mean, it seemed like there was a little run there where she seemed like she was getting pregnant every other year while she
And
was
she
on
is
Fox.
now in like her 50s, I believe.
I mean, she looks very well put together for her age. That's fine.
I stopped paying attention when she hit 25.
Matt over here playing like he's the guy from Dazed and Confused. Why are you hanging out at the high school, Matt? Because
No.
these high school girls, I keep
Oh,
getting
you're gonna
older and
mess
they
up this
stay the
lane.
same.
You butchered that fucking line. Is you know what I like about these high school girls? Don't matter how old you get, they stay the same age.
I'm not sure that works on YouTube anymore.
No, if you say something like in a a different voice or an accent, you can pretty much say anything you want.
Matt, can you do that line as the
Nice.
Pope's exorcist?
Do you know what I like about these?
High school bambinas.
Wahoo.
Oh no, that would be the all right. Good job.
Wahoo, wahoo.
Mad channeling his inner Leonardo DiCaprio. Do not get him started on the blood diamond shit. It's gonna be 10 minutes.
You crazy, man? Huh? I think he's gone to the government boys. They pay me big money. You know what I mean? In America is bing bing, but in Africa is bling bing. Wait, is that right?
Mad is
No,
the
it's
only
bling, bling,
person
whatever.
on this planet, including Leonardo DiCaprio, who thinks that accent.
You are
was good.
so wrong. It is definitively. This is proven. Just Google it. His accent was so accurate. That's what made people think that it wasn't real, because it was so real.
That's true. That's the same people who think that what's her name, Bridget Jones' accent was amazing as a genuinely English person. You know, we Jerry Maguire chick, whatever. Squish
Renee
face.
Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zellweger.
I never thought she was attractive.
Well, she had
No.
Tom Cruise at Hello. Or
No, Tom Cruise had her at Hello. Oh boy. I see why you beg me every week to come on here, Brahma.
I know.
We're getting
Chad,
off politics.
Chad just isn't good with movie trivia of any kind.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean,
His knowledge is very limited.
We may need to get that guy Imp.
Yes.
And Imp.
That way the
As long
screen
as-
looks full.
Well, as long as you have him on a word count so he doesn't over.
Yeah, we've got to X-ray girl him.
Hey, Imp, what do you think? Okay. All right, thanks, Imp. Little Chad, I was implying the no women over 25. I disagree with that thought. Okay.
Wait, no. When he said Mad channeling his inner Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, that's right. Okay, gotcha. Whoa, Brahma's got the racing outside of his garage.
Yep.
You know. Is it now the question is it in-laws drag racing since your house is so full?
Likely. Basically. I did find it hilarious that they had Cenk Uygur at Amfest and he got a standing ovation.
I mean, everybody, I get it. We're all giddy with the expanding the tent part. I do think at least I would say Anna's a little further on the red pilling journey than Cenk is.
Because I think she's sincere. She came from a sincere place.
Yeah.
I know we use grifter a lot, and as the only nonprofit grifter on YouTube, I think people misuse that a lot. But Cenk is definitively, I mean, he is a grifter.
Yeah, the Young Turks, their whole existence has been
Yeah.
grifting.
Which I'm perfectly fine if we use him in this new red wave of expanding, if he's useful, as long as he doesn't damage it. You know what I mean? Because
Well,
otherwise, there's no need for him. Like, what are you doing here, bro? We know,
yeah,
we
it was
get it.
kind of
We get your
weird.
grift.
But I did watch the speech, and his whole thing was he was basically doing a populist speech,
I
saying
think
that
that's
yes, there are populists on the left and the right. What we need to do is where we can come together and agree on something is
I don't
get
think
rid of
that
the establishment.
I don't think that Cenk
kick the bureaucracy
is coming to is even grifting. I think Cenk sees an opportunity to try to move things on his agenda that
Progressive
Cenk
populism.
likes. Yeah, which I mean,
I still think that's grifting.
I think grifting would be if he was just doing it for his own personal gain.
I don't
his
think he
personal
actually
gain.
wants to come together.
I
So
think
I
he
do
wants
think
to
it is
move the
grifting.
agenda.
I think he
Yeah.
wants to get what he wants done.
I don't
Which
know, man.
that would be using populists to
I
get
think that
to a progressive
I
thing.
think he sees the numbers. I think he sees where the trends are heading and is going against what he has been doing. So to stay relevant and profitable, he's moving with that trend.
Now, Soul Assassin gives an interesting point. I don't think Hassan will be able to make the
Absolutely
move
not.
like Cenk can. Cenk is
Oh hell no.
Cenk has always been actually smarter than Hassan about making
Yes.
those kinds of moves.
Not a
Hassan
high
is-
bar, but yes.
I mean, true. Hassan is
Did you see them
Hassan is
together?
like Hassan is in the same vein as Destiny and who's the other Vaush. Like that's where Hassan's
Bosch, yeah. Boss.
that's the contemporary to Hassan. I would put Cenk a step above them in ability to kind of chameleon his way into money continuously.
But at the same time, isn't Hassan his nephew?
Yeah,
So he might drag him along a little bit. But no, I mean, when Hassan goes on, say, a Piers Morgan, Hassan seems like an absolute lunatic, whereas Cenk can occasionally make good points, but
so
I mean,
I've
he is very ideological.
Yep. So I've got a fun meme to try to just getting towards the end of the show.
Okay.
Do some comedy.
While I bring that up, I'll answer
Yeah.
Eric Meyer's question. Was that a Napoleon Dynamite reference? No, it was early in the Biden administration. They interviewed some people that were coming over in one of those, mass illegal immigrant pushes, and they asked him, "So are you just coming because Joe Biden basically has the border open and invited everybody to come?" And he goes, "Basically,
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
So this is
I'm by the way, I'm happy we have finally made it to the comedy segment. Been waiting on it.
This made me laugh.
Yeah, that one's been out there a few weeks, but it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I saw it too.
It's still a good one.
Yeah. I like how Chad is refusing to read it for those that are just listening.
I am not doing it because it's funny to visualize, but I think if I say it, it could jeopardize monetization because it implies that a certain person is a different gender.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Read the thing.
Oh, okay, it does.
We know that it's a different gender than what it claims.
Allegedly.
Did you see that super cringe video of her like walking down the hallway as the people sang to her?
Yes.
Oh god, it's like
It
if
was
there was
bad.
ever
Again.
proof that like the Obamas thought they were like the royal imperial family of America,
The new Kennedys.
Yeah.
it's this like, oh look, she's going to be
just an
serenading.
older, angrier Meghan Markle.
Yeah, well, the difference is I think she's seen the inside of the White House as a resident, and Meghan Markle will never do that. I shouldn't say that. That's how Trump got elected, by having someone say that. But Meghan Markle is she's so insufferable. I don't think anyone actually likes her. So
Including her husband.
Including her husband. I think Harry's starting to really, he's got the case of the
Buyer's
regrets.
remorse.
He's pretty hard right now. And he's at this point, he's the dude who's like, I've got kids now. I'd never see the kids because she's taking them to the US. they'd never get there'd never be a custody arrangement where she would where they would be allowed to return to England.
Yeah, but I
So
feel like he would find a way to have her have like a photographer follow her into a tunnel or something like that. It may make it. There's different scenarios that could.
I get that reference.
Thank you.
I get that too. Princess Di had it coming. It's fine.
Had it coming.
What?
But I was just saying what Mad thought.
Oh my god! Like, yeah, but I'm like, okay.
But I have tact.
Mad, you shouldn't say that kind of stuff too. By the way, man.
You're the one that like somebody makes a innuendo about his dick or whatever, and you're like, you mean your dick? He's talking about his dick.
Well, apparently Trump finally stopped talking about 5 minutes ago. So
I think he dropped
that was
his
a pretty
Panama.
long.
He did his
speech by
final.
him.
He closed up with Panama Canal. I'm taking it. It's mine. It's the biggest canal. It's my canal.
It's a great canal, the best canal, some say.
We're gonna rename it Trump Canal.
Screw
I'm
the
gonna
Suez.
It's like I'm gonna put some hotel rooms on the canal. It'll be beautiful. You can watch his boats go by in the locks. It'll be great.
Nope. Leave it to Robbie to actually deliver on a requested meme. Let's bring this up real quick.
Wait, when did
Because we've got Trump playing risk.
Oh.
That's nice. By the way, chat.
That's released the McCracken.
In all of our conversation, it should be worth noting that Brahma is also a grifter, so super chats are welcome and encouraged along with memberships. We make no illusions that we are not also grifters, and every super chat that you send Brahma that Mad can't get yet because he hasn't lost his channel gives an
I'm a
angel its
non-profit
wings.
grifter.
Yes, an Angel's Envy bottle into the background.
I so want to reference something about grifters that we know, but I don't want to.
See, I just let Chad do all the grifting for me, so
That's true.
It works better that way.
I say, see, like you said, Matt, I'll say that out loud. Yeah, we are grifting. Send us money, please.
Well, I mean, when in a world where actors are grifters, where am I going?
Matt's gonna try not to lose friends.
Matt likes to influence people instead. It's better that way.
Well, it is that time, gents and people in the chat. Hey, Deeple, with $5
On the
over on the
Rumble
Rumble
side.
side. Merry Christmas, all. That's what I was getting to.
Thanks,
It's almost
Deeple.
Christmas. We will not be having a gaming stream Tuesday night.
Why?
Because it's Christmas Eve, and I've got too many people here, and I'm not allowed to hide it.
Brahma's house is full of people. He has to sit in his garage, be alone to entertain you. There we go. Thanks. Good job, people. Wait, finish strong.
Eric K coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, sir. Merry Christmas. So, yeah, we won't have the gaming stream on Tuesday. We should be back for Bourbon and Boarding this Saturday because we didn't do it last night. Too much going on at the house. And too much going on with 70s house. Eric Myers for $2. Mad can't get this, chat. Merry Christmas.
You know what? I immediately thought of Jed and his mom.
That is a reference to Friday night on the Cocktail Lounge, where me and Mad made an appearance right after we were on Ascendant Art, and we basically brought Ascendant Art directly over to Matt's channel.
And when we're done, Brahma, you and I have to have a talk because I was getting text messages about you need to get in there and calm things down between Brahma and Matt. I'm like, but I got it 2 hours after it was saying, I'm like, wait, what happened?
Me and Matt are fine.
Was Shredder going in there?
I didn't say who.
Well, I'm just saying there's only one person who sends you texts while you're on shows.
I wasn't on there. I was already done.
Not true. I do.
Well, you're on with him. So, yeah.
No, I was already off. Apparently, y'all got in an argument.
I don't think it was an argument, but there's no problem.
Brahma should build a wall around his garage and make his family pay for it.
just a high enough wall to keep out all the drag racing sound effects.
When did the deportation start from Brahma's garage? Day one. Day one. I've been loving the clips of him, by the way. Like whether he's doing his interviews, like family deportation. Is there
Yeah,
any way
separation.
around it? Is there any way around that? And he's like, yeah, deport them together.
Yeah,
They
deport
can-
the whole family.
deport
They
the
can
whole
stay
family.
together.
They can. It's this guy's
He
awesome.
he did a speech at Amfest this morning. I think he was the only other speaker besides Trump this morning. So
Yeah, the problem was there was
Holman's
no one
pretty
in the
serious.
room because he kicked them all out. He made them get out. He's like, "Get out of here! You're not allowed. I'm deporting you from my speech."
So, Mad, what do you got coming up?
Well, if you haven't heard, I'm launching a brand new channel in a couple days. It may even do gaming on Tuesday if we get enough subscribers to where I can go live. I forgot how many you have to have. Anyway, the channel's called Mad's New Channel.
Very inventive.
Well, I mean, after Mad TBD got ruined because somebody, not going to mention any names, was like, that sounds like an STD. I'm Slender Dad. And I was like, what? No. And that kind of like ruined it.
I feel
Unless
like when
it
you
really
say
is.
that because I'm Slender Dad, it probably does show. By the way, more evidence on the risk scenario. Donald Trump and his team are reportedly debating how much to invade Mexico once he takes office. Trump and his transition team are discussing a soft invasion of the country. These conversations come after Trump promised to wage war on the drug cartels in Mexico, both during his first term and on the campaign trail. This is also because if he goes in a little bit into the Mexican territory, he could build the wall on their side and wouldn't have any of the environmental regulations that he deals with in the US. So he's like, I'm going to secure North America's inroads. I'm getting Greenland. I'm getting Mexico. I'm getting the bonus, mother effers. I'm getting the bonus.
Yep.
I'm getting my. Trump's like, I am not going another term without cards. Putin's getting all the cards.
Chad, what do you got coming up?
Just with no gaming stream Tuesday because of the holidays. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everybody. We're just gonna have our show Friday post Christmas. So next week, Ascendant Art, and Mad looks like he's got his RX, so we'll do that. We may have a new intro if he gets inspired like he had the last few weeks. He keeps coming up with new versions, so I don't know.
And a guy named Imp.
And a
Yeah,
guy
I'm not
named
adding anybody else. That's the last one.
No, but the way you keep every version where it's clearer when you say "and a guy named Imp," the palpable grumpiness on his part is
It's true.
so Friday nights 9 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube, Rumble, all over the place. So if you haven't already, please share, like, subscribe the channel. We're trying to grow. We'd like to catch up to Brahma. I'd really like to be monetized before Mad launches his channel next year. Because I'm pretty
Oh man, that
confident
would
that
be.
that could happen. Because Mad's probably not going to get around to it until August.
What? Hold on. I'm doing things. You can't talk.
Here's a question for you, Chad. Fanny being removed is awesome, but why did they allow the indictment to stand? Why haven't the charges been dismissed? Why is the president-elect still out on bail for $200,000?
Because removal of the prosecutor doesn't. The reason the prosecutor was removed under Georgia state law was the appearance of impropriety. So that doesn't cause a dismissal of charges automatically. So the thing is, though, it wasn't just Fonnie Wells; it was also her entire district attorney's office, which is Fulton
Willis.
County or Willis, whatever. I've never paid attention to her last name because Fanny. It was
Fanny?
just always Fanny. And so the way it works is another district attorney's office in Georgia will have to either take the case for her, or the governor would have to appoint a special prosecutor to take over the case. I can count on there's not going to be very many people jumping at that opportunity at this point. So what will happen is when no prosecutor comes in and when the governor gets to do it, they'll probably dismiss the charges at that point because there's nobody to prosecute the cases. But that's why it wasn't automatically sent, because technically it wasn't that they found the charges were bad or illegal. They only found that her behavior was improper.
Correct. And with that, we'll say Merry Christmas, and
Merry Christmas.
we'll see y'all Friday, if not sooner. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
remember,
see
you can
some
still
people
super
Monday
chat.
night, maybe.
You can still grift. You can still join up. You can do it on the replay too, people. If you're catching it on the replay, you can join there as well. Or leave super tips. Do you have super tips?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, if
Haven't
there's not any super tips, just join. That's the right way to do it. Why aren't you joined up, people?
looked.
Peer pressure.
Most
Because
of
I
the
haven't
people
been
here have
gifted a
joined.
membership in a while.
Mad. That's right. I don't see the little symbol next to Mad. Mad's name isn't. He doesn't have a subscription.
not
I'm a
green.
mod.
Anyway, here's the intro for an outro. Hope everybody has a great Christmas, and we will catch you all soon. Later.
Broken system chained and tangled up in lies. Voices shouting, screaming in defeat. Politicians playing games under darkened skies. Hope lost in the dust of the street. Red and blue, colors pouring from the sky. Debates turn to anger, the crowd gets loud. Punches flying in the blink of an eye. Truth buried deep beneath the shroud. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak will survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Faces on the screen, flashing perfect teeth. But behind those eyes, just rotting greed. Politicians turn to whispers beneath. They all just get what they need. Whispering conspiracies, drowning in their lies. Echoes of freedom, lost in cries. Spin the wheel of fate, let's see who'll rise. But this game will bleed you dry. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak will survive. These broken dreams we defend, trying to keep alive. Welcome to the bullpen, where the weak will survive. These broken dreams